Hi, it's Faces Tech. Got a new project for today. A bit obsessed with temperature of late. I don't know what is it. I think it's more of like me riding me bike to work, and kind of it was like you're always checking the temperature, checking the weather. So it's like, and also on the route to work, it seems to I get the feeling that you go one side of the river and it's warmer than the other side of the river, and I'm thinking, is that just psychological? Is that you kind of get into your ride sort of, is there actually a physical temperature change, which is mostly the thing that driven this. Started out with the I started out with the M5stick. I think this is the C plus version. Bought it a while ago for some hacking firmware for it. Moved on to the card pewter, which is nice because it's got a better form factor, a larger battery. You can load firmwares from the SD card, which is good. This one, you can only have one firmware on it, so it kind of just got cast aside and then rolled around for this project. I thought, this is perfect. It's got a screen, it's got buttons, it's got charging, it's got a battery. It's basically everything, full package. They are a bit pricey. They're about £20, £25, depending on which one you get, but they're not too bad for the money. So anyway, wired up the DHT11 sensor because I use these a lot. They're really cheap, dead easy to wire up. So I wired that up. First ride, it went down to about 3.3 degrees, and I thought, ooh, I wonder how it's going to handle 0 degrees. So I thought, I chucked it in the freezer, pulled it out, and it was reading 55 degrees, and I thought, what the hell is going on? Looked around, looked at the data sheet, and it goes down to 0 degrees. So there's that. Anyway, found the DHT1122, which does go down, so that's sorted. Because I reckon probably on my commutes going into winter, it probably will go down to 0 degrees. So that was all sorted. Kind of made this little 3D, made a little PCB for it. Just a very basic, just takes that, converts it to the headers for the M5stick. The 10k pull-up resistor as well in there, so you can just use the spare sensor because they're like super cheap. Even these ones are cheap enough. So which was handy because they've got the similar footprint and they're just a bit chunkier. So I managed to use the same PCB for both. Just modified the 3D printed shell, obviously. I made it this way as well, so that it's kind of like the back to the wind, so that the kind of gives you a. I don't know if it's not like an accurate, because you're going to get some wind to take the temperature down whilst I'm riding, but I don't think it's going to be that much really. It's like I say, it's more to tell you the drop in temperature than the actual temperature. But also as kind of got it up and running, tried out a few times, and then like scope creep, kicks in, and you think, it's good glancing at it, but you can't constantly look at it and you can't constantly monitor it. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if you could have if it could lock the highest and lowest temperature since it's been on? So I was looking around, found some code, trying to work out the code myself. I failed, and then I looked around and someone had one. I think I was missing it. I started the lowest temperature at 999 and the highest temperature at 0, so that they both adjust and then they both compare to the temperature as it's going along, which is, as you can see here, you can do some better icons really, because the minus and the plus can be misleading. But yeah, so it's great because then you can get in and you can basically look at the temperature I started at, and there's the lowest temperature. It's kind of handy. And then I wanted battery level. I got the reading the bare voltages here. I did try and make some kind of like battery percentage thing, but that just would not work. I could not get that to work. I think it's more to do with the floating numbers and stuff like that. But I think if you know the voltage, I think it goes down to about 3.3, I think, and obviously 4.2 is the highest. So you kind of get a rough idea of if you've got a battery life or not. But yeah, as always, I'm going to release all the PCB files, the 3D print files, the code. I've even put the code on the M5 burner, which was sort of like a new thing for me really. I thought, because the nature of these is that you want to basically just plug it in, and away you go. Like, so I've put it on there. It only works for the 22, the one on there. I might try and tweak the code so that it can sort of know which one, or you can select it in the settings maybe. Future scope creep, who knows. But for now it only works for the 22, which is probably the better unit anyway, because you know, I don't think, if we can't read all the temperature scales, what is the point in using it? So yeah, 3D print files, the SD card. Well, I am going to release all the stuff for the 11 as well, if that's what you've got on hand. So there's two different folders in the GitHub release for that, and yeah, you can just pop it in and flash it. And that's it, away you go. Thanks for watching, bye.